Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our daily chanting community practices to honor Lord Ganesha, to prepare ourselves to receive his blessings during his birthday celebration, Ganesha Chaturthi, which is the fourth moon during this month of September, between August and September. So it is going to be on September 9th that we'll celebrate Ganesha's birthday, and Dr. Pillai is going to be giving us an initiation for those people who are drawn to, or Ganesha is pulling their heartstrings to come and join the paid services that are offered through Pillai Center Academy, Pillai Center, and Ashravid. So please check that out. We'll talk a little bit more about it. We're going to pop some links onto the chat as well. We have Arjun and Radha here helping support us technically in the background, Arjun, and then Radha is going to be answering your questions and then sharing some feedback about how to spell mantras and what to do when your questions pop up. She'll be happy to be of service and support. And I'll be focusing on bringing the teachings to you as per Dr. Pillai. He'd like us to chant together this sound Om Gum 360 times. That is a half an hour, and it's in his voice, and there's a beautiful music, so you can go deeply into your body, mind, and soul, beyond it even, if you can let go of all of that. However, your soul will know because it will be guided by Dr. Pillai's voice. So the sounds, the bijas or the seed sounds, are like the passwords to the Wi-Fi. So the username is Ganesha and the passwords are Om Gum. And Dr. Pillai introduces us in this meditation practice to Mula Ganapati, which is the root Ganesha. He gets to the root of the matter to help you find an easy way out. So when we are getting those blessings from the master, we don't really have to think about it too much. He will just do what we need him to do. We just have to set our intention. And then our intention is, well, what are we dedicating this practice to? So we come to these global community chant practices to cultivate the community consciousness, participate in creating it. And then as it is expanding in the space here with Dr. Pillai, guiding our souls together to collectively raise the roof of our consciousness, so to speak, so that it can wash away any negative, congested energies, any patterns, chronic or acute even. So chronic is long-standing and acute is like immediate, emergency, urgent. I'm in a real state of shock because maybe somebody died or somebody, you lost your job, or you've got bad news about health, or somebody that you know. And this is across the board. It's globally, we're in uncertain times. So when something shocking happens to us, we have to get to the root, the core of who we are, to stay steady, to stay stable and calm in being that eye in the storm of the life, or whatever is happening. So we can't necessarily change our karmic events that we are faced with, but we certainly can feed our soul to be that steady, faithful person who says, you know what, you can rise above all this when you call on the divine. So we've got the Wi-Fi, the divine Wi-Fi connection, Ganesha as the username, and the password is Om Gum. So this Mula Ganapati is also associated with Adi Ganapati, the primary, the first Ganesha. And the first Ganesha was a human body and a human head. So for those people who are new, welcome. And those people who have been around for a while and been coming every night, or coming and going, or maybe you're watching the recordings and you're participating in that way, you will understand that this Ganesha is an elephant-headed being. He has a pot belly and he rides a mouse. And you can rewind or rewatch those recordings that are posted to Pillai Center Practice and find out what the other teachers have shared as well about their experiences with the different kinds of Ganesha throughout all their journey with Dr. Pillai. So I had received a message from Dr. Pillai, and this was many years ago, and he said, you must get this human-headed Ganesha. And so I saw, well, how do we get it? Well, there he was. When I participated in Ganesha's birthday, the one of the offerings was to receive this human-headed Ganesha. So he's first and foremost, and he's the one who would give the blessings to anyone at that time. And he's the one who protected the goddess Parvati. And then his father didn't recognize him when he came back home. And he saw this guardian boy there when Parvati was having a bath. And he said, "Move out of my way." And Lord Shiva was really up in front of this little Ganesha with the boy Ganesha. And he just said, "No way, I'm here to protect my mom. And you just better stand back." He didn't know that this is Lord Shiva, her consort, and also his father. And so they had a battle, and Lord Shiva lopped off the little boy's head. And then Parvati freaked out, and she said, "What have you done? That's our son. I made him out of dust. And then he was here to protect me while you were gone." And she was raging, the wrath of a woman, right? So Lord Shiva, in a panic, said, "Okay, somebody go get a head and put this head back on. The first head you find, put it back, bring it back here so we can put it back on this body and bring it to this boy to life." So my wife stops nagging me. And she's also stressed out, and it was a wrongdoing on Lord Shiva's part. So the first head that they found was an elephant head. And so they popped the head back onto the shoulders of the body of this little boy, and he became an elephant-headed being. So why the elephant head, Dr. Pillai shares, is that the elephant is known to have these von Economo neurons in the brain, in the anterior cingulate cortex, the ACC. And it's part of the brain where compassion is. So when you look into the eyes of an elephant, if you've ever been up close and personal, which I have in India and in other places as well around the world, I seem to come across these beautiful beings, and there's so much depth to them. There's so much compassion and empathy, and they absorb all the negativity, because as we know, these elephants are usually chained and they're whipped and they're beaten into submission if they're held in captivity. But in the temples in India, they don't necessarily do that. They train them to participate in regal services as per the tradition. The elephant and horses and cows are honored by the kings and emperors of the times gone by. And that tradition is carried out as well. So they're very humane to these elephants. But gazing into the eye of an elephant, you lose yourself. You lose all, whatever your suffering was, whatever your angst or anxiety was, you get melted by this beautiful, wise being. So we also have von Economo neurons inside of our anterior cortex cingulate, but our head is much smaller than a head of an elephant and the brain of an elephant. So they teach us to be compassionate, to be understanding, to be caring, to be able to absorb the negativity in our lives, and also to absorb that suffering in the people around us. Not that you have to take it on and be a surrogate for all kinds of, or a sacrificial lamb, so to speak, as Christ was, perhaps, but you can be steady, and you can know that, hey, the divine is protecting me, and I will call on Ganesha, and Ganesha will be the one who absorbs all that negativity, and then also empowers me to be very compassionate. Because we don't know, we can't say, oh, I'm compassionate, or I'm empathetic, or I'm understanding. You can't really measure yourself. Other people will say, oh my gosh, you are so compassionate, or oh my gosh, you're so empathetic, or oh my gosh, you're just so patient and kind and caring. So it will be what you are carrying within you, that energy, that intelligence will pour through, and people will recognize it. You can't say, I get an A in all of that, or an A+, because that's pretty, well, we don't want to judge it. So we want to be judgmental. We want to experience the root cause of who we are, the first being inside of us is Ganesha. So Adi Ganapati or Mula Ganapati gets to the root of your challenges and helps you to stay steady and strong and to stay in the wonder of Ganesha. How is he going to help me to be the most compassionate, the most evolved I can be in any given moment in time without grading myself or grading others, or degrading myself or degrading others? And we have that. We have this low self-esteem that's built in. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough. So poverty consciousness, he will crush that. So Dr. Pillai says, how do we change our karma is we need to call on these intelligent beings who are able to give us miracle consciousness, not in a thinking way or an academic or a theoretical way. It's a first-hand way. So coming together on Tuesday, August 17th, 2021. My name is Sucharita. For those of you who don't know me, wishing you all a very warm welcome. And again, we have Radha, we have Arjun helping us out here. We have a whole team working behind the scenes to make sure that you are alerted. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and also hit the alert, because then you will know, okay, this is what's happening next. And I want to be there. I want to fill myself up with this intelligence so that I can experience it in my life. And then we have what we call miracle moments. And oh my goodness, I'm having miracles every moment, as opposed to miracles or a one-off. I hope it happens someday. So we'll get rid of that scarcity consciousness, poverty consciousness, get to the root of the matter of who we are, which all of us have this birthright to explore and discover the secrets that are locked inside of us. And these are the divine beings who we can align with, and then they can help us to get a clear connection to that highest and best version of ourselves. The highest self-esteem is not the self-esteem that, oh, you know, I'm better than anyone else, or my God is better than your God, or my beliefs are the best beliefs or the worst beliefs. It's all that gets washed away, and then you will experience everything happening because of God, and God is doing everything. And where is that? Inside. So Ganesha is going to wake that up. He's the first and foremost that all the gods, all the divine beings across the cultures, across the traditions honor this being in the cosmos. It's just that we get down into the earth plane and everybody wants it to be their story or some version of it, and they want to own it and they want to control it. But the divine in the cosmic eternal sense is saying, no, 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 everybody has access to this. We'll just get the divine master. Sadguru is the highest truth. So Dr. Pillai is a Sadguru, and he can give the highest truth and reveal it to you, those with sincere hearts, bodies, minds, and receptivity, and the desire to uplift themselves and uplift humanity. So enough said. This is Adi Ganapati. I will pull him up afterwards. I'll bring him up close and personal to everyone once we come out of our meditation. So thanks everyone for joining. We're going to get started now. I'll be moving away from the video or the camera. You'll see the video screen, and it will be of the altar, and then you can be gazing towards the images. We have a yantra of Ganesha Mahaganapati. A yantra is a magical diagram or sacred geometry, and in each and every one of our cells, if you look under a microscope it's a high electron microscope, you can see in the cells there's these sacred geometrical figures. And so we are, to the core of our being, in our DNA, all the light frequencies hitting our cells, making us up, is the sacred geometry. And then as it is here inside of us and inside of our body, our mind, our soul, our energy bodies, we connect with these spiritual realms, and they have images to connect with. So once again, we need to know what the divine Wi-Fi username is, the passcodes are, and then have these landing pads. So yantra means machine. Once you turn it on, once you create that landing pad for the divine to come in, then it radiates out all the energy to remove obstacles. So right now, either write down or pop it onto the chat if you'd like to. You could say it to yourself as well, or say it internally. You could say it out loud and stake your claim to this practice today. My intention is to do this practice to raise the vibration inside of myself, and then collectively in the space all around the world, we'll create a network for Ganesha consciousness to come in, of course, through Dr. Pillai's grace and blessings. And we'll see how it goes. So we have all this energy. So what do we want to do with it? We want to show Ganesha in our lives where we need help. So set your intention, say your prayer. Either it's going to be relating to finances, relationships, your health, your work, your business. It could be your spiritual pursuits or your spiritual path or your journey. Maybe you're stuck. You feel like you're going through a dark night of the soul that doesn't end in one night. It keeps going on and on and on. So Ganesha will break through that even, and then help you to come out of these harms and hurdles, these uncertain times, especially when you're surrounded by people who are super negative and you just get filled up with that and you can't release any of it. So this is the time to do that. And as we have heard from people sharing their experiences on the chat during and after this whole session together, they feel this release and they're so relieved that Ganesha gave them that experience, because you don't want to just do this practice and hope it all works out. This is a practice to experience something that happens when we connect with this divine being. And everyone here, with Dr. Pillai's grace and blessings, it is going to create that consciousness in us that we will never, ever be able to negate, and we'll be able to grow that in us no matter what is going on in the world. So without further ado, let's get set up. So set your intention, set your prayer, and we're going to get right up close and personal with Ganesha, with Dr. Pillai. You can see his image above. And he is guiding us to receive the blessings of this divine experience. So you can see this image of Adi Ganapati. He's got the human head. He's called, the mukha is a face as well. So he is this Ganesha who was the primordial, the first, and he wants you to feel that energy the first. This is the Shri Mahaganapati Yantra. Maha means great. So this has got sacred geometry. So it's when you're chanting or listening to Dr. Pillai, you can either chant out loud, you can chant internally, you can be just listening, and then maybe connect with these sacred objects, either Dr. Pillai or the landing pad, the yantra, and also this particular Ganesha. There's also another Ganesha over there that if you'd like to connect with them, we'll just see where your eyes are drawn to. Some people have been sharing that they had their eyes closed and something told them, hey, go open your eyes and look. And then maybe a flower fell, or they got a flash of a smile from Ganesha. And oh my goodness, this is for real. I am connecting. So we want to have that experience that something is going on. I'm not making this up. And then I want to experience the blessings coming in my life. So let's get started then. Your eyes can be open or closed. I'm going to just turn the one light down so you have some energy, some divinity, maybe even the divine comes, Ganesha comes into the flame. This is a ghee lamp here. And so he might come into the flame and remind you, focus on the ray of light that shoots up your backbone and then activates all your chakras to release anything that is no longer serving you. Release the deep-seated stuff that comes up to the surface and you're like, oh my God, why am I still thinking about that? So let it all go and then fill yourself up with the energy or the spiritual transmission or darshan in Sanskrit that's coming from you activating your connection, and then these divine beings pouring it into you. So then you can close your eyes and go deeper, wash it away. Once again, connect with your intention. Set your intention. Dear Lord Ganesha, Dr. Pillai, please give me support or help me to find a way out, or help people to come and help me to find a way out of my problem, whether it's has to do with relationship, your health, your finances, your spiritual path. Maybe people in your life are struggling and suffering and you'd like to help them and you just can't because you don't have enough energy or resources. Then you can say, hey, can you please go and help them? So with that, then you can be taking a few deep breaths and going internally, connecting with the base of the spine, connecting with a ray of light that shoots up the spine in your subtle body, your energy body, that corresponds with your backbone. So you might want to just kind of sit up and wiggle around a little bit so you feel that straight sensation of being tall and straight, and then you can just relax. Once you feel the sensation, then the energy can shoot up. You don't have to hold it there and be too militant about it. If you're lying down, that's fine. You can imagine the light still shooting out the backbone through the top of the skull and into the space. Remember, the spiritual realm doesn't have limitations of direction. We just need to know that we're connecting through our energy body, and this ray of light inside of us is going to get activated by Ganesha and Dr. Pillai. So keep focusing on it. And then imagine Dr. Pillai sending 2 beams of light in your eyes, cleansing your eyes. Your eyes are the windows to your soul, and sometimes or a lot of times, the eyes only see what they are familiar with and they can't see anything else. So we need the grace and blessings to remove that karmic vision, if you will, that keeps repeating again and again and again, and we can't seem to find anything else just to look at in our lives, to imagine ourselves having everything that we need. So receive the light from Dr. Pillai's eyes into your eyes. Lock on to that image or sensation and even feel this light burning the karma in your eyes. They might even start to water or cry. You might even have an emotional release. And then 2 beams of light enter your ears, either ear, and then they pierce the eardrum in the left ear or the right eardrum. And then feel the light as it enters the inside of your head, and it makes your face to kind of tingle or heat. You might feel some heat with this light, or your face might light up, start to glow. 2 beams of light shoot up the nostrils. A beam of light enters the tongue. The mouth lights up, the tongue, tip of the tongue, middle of the tongue, back of the tongue, inside the tongue, and even into the back of the throat. The light is expanding. Even your cheeks feel like they're blowing out with the light. You can just relax them and allow the light to go beyond the cheeks and beyond the throat even. A beam of light enters the forehead in the spot between your 2 eyebrows, making its way into the middle of the brain. It activates the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, the third eye, and the subtle body in the middle of the brain. Reconnect with the ray of light shooting up your backbone, going up through the brain, up through the top of the skull, sending out a signal to the divine, and the divine responds with a beam of light pouring down from the heavens, connecting with your ray of light, And then going deep into your brain, it penetrates your skull, it goes into the brain. And feel the brain start to tingle as the neurons fire. Literally, they fire. Sparks fly. And the whole body responds. The nervous system fires, and the light moves through the body like liquid. Maybe a honey, a thick liquid pouring all down your arms, your chest, your back, your insides, the core, your guts, all the organs, down through the pelvic region, down the legs, into the feet and into the toes. You are liquid light. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Embrace the light in your eyes, your ears, your nostrils, your tongue, your mouth, your third eye, your brain, the whole body. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Enjoy the practice, and we'll see you in a bit.
Second to none is a divine concept. However, you also can have it. When a human becomes God, he can do miracles. How do you become the divine in order to have a second to none consciousness? The God who owns the characteristics of second to none is Lord Ganesha. Lord Ganesha is God with great antiquity and worshipped in different galaxies. You put him in your consciousness all the time, then you will have his consciousness. Om Mula Ganapate Namaha. Mula means the original Ganapati. Om Mula Ganapate Namaha. 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 This will get rid of your karma on the one hand, and then acquire his consciousness, which is second to none. Start with half hour a day. Just engage in Ganesha with the mantra Om Dham, Om Dham. Then you get rid of your karma and then acquire his consciousness, which is second to none. Om Dham, 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 Om Dham. 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 Om Om Dham. 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 Oh.
Slowly, slowly. Let go. Take your time. Let go of the meditation. the stream of consciousness that you immersed yourself in, connecting with Ganesha, connecting with Dr. Pillai, connecting with all the divine beings who surrounded you that you are not aware of, but now there's some energy, there's some experience, some shift in your consciousness, some expansion, some indicator. Maybe your thoughts have slowed down. Maybe you're thinking more optimistically about the situations in your life that you now know will be more favorable for you because you're asking for divine intervention. You're asking and you shall receive. That's the message throughout all the traditions, across the cultures, across all religions. Ask someone or something higher, supernatural to you, beyond your nature. Your true nature is that you are God and you have the ability to do miracles. Just like when Jesus picked up the mud and put it on the blind guy's eyes, and then he could see. And he said, "Thank you, Jesus." Jesus said, "Hey, listen, it's your faith, your belief in God, in me, in some supernatural power. And then I just did the thing in the Father's name." So we're saying the Father, Dr. Pillai, the spiritual Father, that which is guiding our soul to go get the knowledge, get the passwords to open up that divine Wi-Fi connection to Ganesha, who removes obstacles. So we want to experience, yes, it is done. And then he will find a way out. He will help to give you clarity and confidence and relief. Anytime you call on him, you just feel relieved. Even if it is momentarily, you've done in that moment, you've gone beyond your suffering state. And you said, okay, I can't do this. Forget it. I'm so limited. But Ganesha is the first and foremost. And then he will do the needful. So as you're coming back, you can reconnect with your prayer and say, thank you so much, Dr. Pillai, Ganesha, everybody here, for co-creating this spiritual vortex. And now we've added 360 more chants times the number of people who participated. So Arjun, maybe you can enlighten us and share how many we're at altogether, if that's possible. Or maybe we can guesstimate it. We're getting close to the million, I think. And that will break through a collective consciousness around the world. Once we reach that critical mass, then something extraordinary can happen for all of us. So thanks everyone for participating. Those of you who need to jump off, have a final connection to this beautiful spiritual transmission. It's so peaceful, so potent, and so full of blessings. Even if you don't understand what that means, you can immerse your soul and know that it got what it needs to guide you. So slowly, slowly come back. The lights are going to come on. And you're welcome to share your experiences. You're welcome to ask your questions. Arjun has been so lovely. He's our technical support, and he was responding to whatever you guys needed, because Radha, apparently she's not able to be here today. So we're so grateful, because it's not easy to navigate everything here. It's a whole production. So thanks everyone for joining. You made it to be such a valuable experience. And looking at the chat, we've got some people firing up with their comments, questions, and shared experiences. So I'll get to that. Shushma is saying, even if we have 50,000 chants daily, we reach 1.5 million chants. Awesome. That's right. So the more we get into this spirit of this challenge, if you will, and some people don't like competitions or challenges, but really it's something that we challenge ourselves to do, not because we're going to get an A or anything out of it, other than we get to participate in something that's beyond our individual, it's all about me life. You know, so we can do something that will collectively raise the roof. Oh, great. So we have reached 506,836 till yesterday. That's fantastic. So we're beyond halfway there, guys. Awesome. Thank you, Arjun, for posting that. So Katina is saying, I'm a little shaky. Now, what's that all about? Especially for people who are new to the teachings. This is an intelligence that's coming in. It's so pure. The vibration is pretty high. It's as if you've run, 100-yard dash in less than 5 seconds. It's timeless. And you're like, whoa, what is this? What is this? So if you feel like that, it can be that you are not used to that kind of energy. That's why we're getting everyone prepared by coming to these community chants and practicing on your own right up until the day before Ganesha's birthday, because he's being birthed into the earth plane on that day, coming through Dr. Pillai. He's going to be radiating that energy out so we can handle it. So he's like the power station, and we're plugging into that. So if you feel it a little shaky any step of the way, some self-care tips, which I'm always happy to help people to get rebalanced. So over the years, Dr. Pillai has asked me, or other people as well who've been around for a long time, I want you to chant this mantra for 72 hours in a row. Don't eat, don't sleep, just keep chanting it. Oh my God. So it's only from previous lifetimes could I have done that in this lifetime. And I never asked, why am I doing this? Can I do it? It was just, he had put that, set that intention inside of me, and then went ahead and did it. And yes, felt dizzy, felt energy, felt pain in places in my head or my brain or my body, felt the energy around me, felt weak, felt empowered, felt joy, felt happiness, felt uplifted. So you can feel anything and everything throughout these sessions. And it's nice to have just a little bit, an appetizer at a time, so you can digest it much more readily and assimilate it, so it's not so overwhelming. And So if you do feel tired, then what do you do when you're tired regularly or without chanting or being on a spiritual path? You take rest, or you modify your schedule. Maybe you don't go out and do things, mundane things, running here, running there, talking to people on the phone. You might just go more internally, rest. Not that you have to sleep, but maybe if you need sleep, maybe your body says, you know what, you've been running on empty. So you need to catch up with your rest your brain, rest your body, hydrate yourself. So take in more water. People will say, oh, should I drink sparkly water, juice? Just water, pure water, spring water, or even tap water, if that's doable wherever you are in the world. You can take that. And then that will help to cleanse whatever is causing your nervous system to be a little shaky. You might be dehydrated. So again, these mantras, these divine beings are saying, hey, you've got to take care of this body. You've got to take care of your mind so that you'll be steady and able to handle this spiritual transmission, this super intelligence that's coming in, this light, this energy, this vibration. So thanks for sharing. And anyone who has that kind of shaky or pain or tired, maybe you are yawning, you're like, oh my God, I can't stop yawning. What that action is it tries to open the body to more energy coming in. So it's not necessarily that you're tired so much as you're trying to expand, make space for these divine energies to come in, and then you do a little dance. Some people might feel like, ew, there's like this alien thing in me that's trying to get out, and that can be freaky too. So don't stress out about it. You just take care. So things like salt, putting some rock salt or sea salt, Epsom salts into just like a handful into a bath, and just take a bath while you're listening to this mantra, so you can double up, do your practice, and ask Ganesha to cleanse you. And then the salt will take away that the toxic energies. Toxins can come in from the energy around you. Maybe you're in a kind of an emotional toxic environment, or you yourself are super negative and you can't get out of that loop. So even if you can't take a bath, you don't have a bathtub, you can then put your feet in some salt water and then listen to the mantra as well, prop yourself up, sit back, relax, and enjoy. And then you can cleanse, throw the water away, and then feel what you feel, and wash the salt off afterwards as well. So those kind of the couple of tips that Dr. Pillai has given us over the years. Also, it's something that you might explore if you can, and this is not an easy one to do it. I was doing it for many years, having 5 showers a day, 5. So, in the morning and the evening, K2, there's 2 there. Partway through the day, take a shower, and then in between meals, you can take showers. So you can if you work up to it, and then you do actually do it for some time, the 5 showers, you will feel so much negativity, karma is being washed away. So, and then I have in the shower room, not exactly underneath the water, but in the shower room, the mantra playing, and then washing it away, wash away. Not you, the water is hydrogen and oxygen. Dr. Pillai has mentioned so many times that hydrogen is God. So just like when we bathe the deities, or we do abhishekam or sacred bathing, we sacred bathe ourselves. So you can wash away that. It doesn't have to be full-on showers, getting your hair wet and, wrecking your makeup, or, if you have to do that, you can splash water, on your face if you don't have the makeup, and that can be a part of the cleansing process as well, if you feel like you're out of sorts. And then you can also take the lemon or lime or coconut and roll that, go on to Pillai Center practice and find out, or Pillai Center and find out how the teachers, including myself, have shown you how to absorb the negativity in the space. And then today is a Tuesday, so this is a lime here. Sometimes it's a lemon, a sweet lime in India or other places around the world. This is what we call a lime here in Canada, Toronto, Canada. And what this is, the veil of Lord Muruga, it's his day today. So he's Ganesha's brother. And you can just roll this lime or lemon or coconut, but the lime or the lemon, so you can pierce it afterwards. And then that will be giving you that action of piercing the karma, keeping the negativity away from you. So those are kind of cleansing things that you can do to rebalance, recalibrate, stop from shaking or feeling out of sorts. And then it will help you to also break through any pain. It's not going to necessarily get rid of it, although a lot of the times it does. So how about taking an ice bath? Sparky Moto is saying you can. There's a guy, what's his name? The Iceman. And maybe some of you know who he is. I forget his name. It's not coming to my mind. But he's a big believer in that, firm believer in the ice, taking ice baths to detox yourself. So you can check that out. Just Google Iceman, or if someone knows his name. So lime absorbs the karma. It helps you to recalibrate yourself. Absolutely. Thank you so much. The veil is the divine weapon of Lord Muruga, who destroys bad karma. And he also gets rid of enemies, diseases, debts, litigation. So how is that related to Ganesha? Well, they're brothers, and Ganesha's energy is that which will open the door for you to understand who his brother is. So they're both battlers, or these warriors, spiritual warriors in other realms that we can tap into their consciousness and get their qualities or characteristics. Wim Hof, yes, that's who it is. He's awesome. So check him out. Anybody who wants to explore what it is to have cold showers, not necessarily dive into the ice baths, but you can start out with cold showers, and he has a whole routine that you can maybe do that for 10 seconds. And that could be part of your bathing that you do to cleanse your body, your mind, your soul while you're listening to Ganesha. So thanks for those fabulous fans of Wim Hof. So I know a lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but maybe more than 2 handfuls of people I know from around the world who are Wim Hof devotees, if you will, and they follow him and his teachings and they are very high caliber performers in their life, in their hobbies or interests, sports, in even their career. It makes them to feel very alive and very vibrant and very alert. And even people who are studying with Dr. Pillai, I have about a 10-second cold shower right at the end of my warm one because I just feel that energy and recalibration to the nervous system. It's a waker upper versus the warm is like falling asleep. So you can, you can explore and see how it works for you. Angela's saying, thank you so much for the tips, Sutrita, feeling so blessed to be here. Yes, and this is a blessing. So we're wondering how do we know that the guru or the master, the spiritual master, the Sadguru is giving us blessings? They're always giving us blessings coming through your answer to the call. What call? Did he text you? Did he call you up? Did he WhatsApp you? Did he Insta you? No, he's calling at the soul. So whenever you come and you fill yourself up with the teachings of the moment, then you know you are being guided and you're blessed and you're receiving the blessings and you're taking those blessings. So the blessings are always there, he says, but you've got to come and take them. And dump your stuff. He doesn't care. Dr. Pillai has said, I'm like a washing machine. People come and they bring their dirty laundry, and then I just cleanse it, and then they can have a better karma cleaned up. So he's always saying, drop your problems at my feet or at an image or in your mind. In your image comes from imagination. So you're putting that image into your consciousness and then calling on him. And how do you call? You just Om Gam right now. That's the divine Wi-Fi username and password. Ganesha, the username, password is Om Gam. So yes, Vyas is saying, after I chant, I receive money. Ha ha ha. Wow, that's wonderful, Ganesha. Pending payment from my client for so long. Now settle ready. Chanting miracles, Ganesha. Thanks, thanks. And that's what we want to do, even if we are like, oh, I can't believe it. When we write it, when we put it in writing, it's as if we are making a contract with the divine. And we all know when we make a contract with a bank or with a house, a mortgage, or you sign a contract for business or your job, that it's a mutual exchange that says, I'm going to do something and give you something in return, and you're going to get something. So there's this contract is what we have here in the Kali Yuga this time, whereas before it used to, you didn't sign papers, you did a handshake. So how do we have a contract with the divine? It's a sacred contract. And then when you know, okay, what do I do? What are the, where do I sign? What do I have to do for you? What are you going to do for me? And that's what it is. So when you put it in writing, you're signing the contract with Ganesha. So try that out as well. Write out. Even Dr. Pillai in the old days, one of the first teaching was write it many times what you want from Ganesha. Keep writing it, and now it will get done. And I've done that too. And I describe this relationship harmony with everyone. And because I was going through a lot of work politics and so on, and I just couldn't find a way to communicate effectively. And it didn't matter how many prayers or how many remedies I did, just something was not there. So Ganesha just said, oh, okay, I can do this. I'm first and foremost. You should have called on me before you called on anybody else. That's what it was. So I wrote exactly, I want this, I want this, I want this. I kept writing, and it happened. So we have the God inside of us, but we don't know we don't just think about it or speak or look or listen, feel. You just write your contract. Yeah. So Sparky Moto saying, write it out 108 times on a chalkboard. Cool. You can write it on a chalkboard. You can write it on paper. You can type it, text it to yourself, email it to yourself. This is a really cool thing that we have now with virtual reality. I have a Skype account in another name for me, and I write all my journaling. I do all my journaling to myself on that account, and nobody knows about it. I don't share it with anybody, but it's a journal for me to keep track of. So you can get creative, write emails to yourself if you're an email person, or get a file folder and it's just your journal to yourself. Or you can get a hard copy, have it so you're carrying it with you all the time, and it's something heavy or tangible to go to. And write out what your problems are and just Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam. And you'll feel this energy coming in and solving the problems or waking you up to ways in which you can find a way out. Because Katina's saying, my head hurts. So I remember Dr. Pillai saying that after 72 hours of chanting, I was dehydrated. I was, elated and tired at the same time. I was confused. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go back to the mundane life. And my head was pounding. It was like a drill, like those drills that you drill the concrete with. And, that's what I felt like. And then I said to him, oh, and he said, why are you looking like this? And I said, I can't even, I feel like I'm going to throw up, but I haven't eaten. And my head is just pounding. And he said, take a Tylenol. And then he just walked away. I was like, oh, right. So we have the technology and we have the ability, but where's the intelligence to go and use it? So that's he will just say use science of today, medicine of today. Don't overuse it or abuse it, but use it when you need it, and then reduce your pain and suffering. So, and also getting out in nature. You can take your listening device with you, or if you don't want to do that, you can just be walking in a park or walking in nature in a beautiful neighborhood. Even if you don't live in a beautiful neighborhood, you can go to one, and then go sit on the bench and sit and listen to Ganesha and saying, wow, I would love to live in this neighborhood. Could you make that happen? So we can't imagine ourselves being going beyond our karma until we actually go and do that, physically go there, and then call on Ganesha. And it might take you some time to kind of align with that, would challenge your karma. So Shravita is saying, if you have a headache, send the energy to Mother Earth and all the sick people in the hospitals. Yeah, that's fantastic. Journaling is a great practice. Yes, gratitude. If you have a journal, you can have a gratitude journal. So we all know what we're miserable about. What are you also very grateful about? What are you happy about? What could you see in this moment right now? What catches your eye and says, hey, maybe it's a smile, maybe it's a color, maybe it's you feel actually some relief from your ratcheting negativity. And you're going, oh, wow, that's what the space in between all that negativity feels like. I think I like that. So build on your gratitude and journal it, and then you'll start to build your consciousness. Through the grace and blessings of all these divine archetypes. They want you to do your life. They're just lighting the way. You got to go do the life. Yeah. So being in the present moment, fabulous. Okay. And we all know that, or have experienced perhaps, when you are given something, a gift, or maybe you win a lotto, that's instantaneously your life changes. Or someone asks you to marry them, or the birth of a child, something in your life that is just like, oh wow, my life has now changed. That's how fast it can happen. Even though you've been working on it, when it actually happens, it's only the flash of a second, isn't it? You just, that present moment, you're so present to the gifts that you are just about to receive. And that's how you can acknowledge the change inside of you and then go with that change. Change is never, ever, ever going to be easy and smooth. Like, oh, I wish it was just going to be like peace, love, and Bobby Sherman. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be, because then you're just going to be your old way. And just go easy into your old way. You're trying to fool yourself. So these divine beings will shake you up. And you're literally, like someone said, I feel shaky. Good. That means you're changing. So in order for us to grow and expand, we have to have a breakthrough of something. So how does that happen? So Laura's saying it's so much fun in these fire in these chants. So yes, hydration. Yes, absolutely. Sparky Moto, Bobby Sherman, and Tiger Beat Magazine. You got it. So, or whatever peace, love, and Bobby Sherman translates to your generation. That's how it was for us. It was that which made us to be like, holding hands in kumbaya and hoping that the war stops. Yes, you want peace, but then you've got to be peace too. You've got to do that and take action. You can't just sit back and do nothing. Does Astrovet have a human-headed Ganesha? You'll have to check. This one came through Ganesha Chaturthi several years ago. So just like all the Ganeshas that I have that I introduced, even the yantra came more recently through a Ganesha celebration. Kalyani is saying, thank you, Babaji, Ganesha, Sushita, and all for making this possible for me and many of us here and around the world. We need this so much. And this is what it is. When we come together, we're doing something that's way beyond what we can imagine that is possible. So feeling it, knowing it, experiencing it is super easy. You just show up. So glad to hear that you're having these experiences. Angela saying, just curious, why are we chanting 360 times? What's the significance? That's what 30 minutes is. And Dr. Pillai's cadence of this particular chant and the music, it happens to be 360 chants to make it 30 minutes. Because he said, I want you to at least chant for 30 minutes, this Om Gam. A day. And if you can do it more often, like play it all the time in the background. It's going on when I'm working, it's on low volume. When I'm sleeping, it's on low volume. So this is what we're committed to, is bringing as much Ganesha consciousness into our life and not just turning it on and turning it off. I mean, if you have to work, you don't want it being distracting. But again, set something up so it's the vibration is there in your space, but you can hardly even hear Dr. Pillai chanting, but you know he is. So that's where the 360 comes from. It's a time-based 30 minutes, which is as per Dr. Pillai. And it's a pretty nice number too. It's an easy round number, to multiply by everyone who's coming. So once again, Pillai Center Practice, who is Arjun today in the chat, says we've reached 506,836 till yesterday. So we're going to add the 360 times how many ever were here today. We'll find out about that afterwards, because all those stats are done for us here on YouTube. So I think I've shared with everybody here pretty much what people have been posting in general, and much gratitude to Dr. Pillai for calling all of us and you coming. And as Angela is saying, I felt overwhelmed throughout the day, and then coming here, I just feel so much better. That's what we want to do. We want to have the anxiety reduced. We want to be able to release some of this COVID uncertainty. Regardless of COVID, we're always uncertain. We can have the best laid plans in life, and then all of a sudden things can go sideways so quickly. So who are we then? We call on Ganesha and make us to be protected and find an easy way out, a smooth way out. We still have to take action, but it will be a lot easier and smoother with the grace and blessings. Sharita is saying, having Ganesha now more. Oh, great. Let's see. I want to just read this. Oh, I lost you. There you are. Having Ganesha now in a more tense manner is a great shift of life. I have experienced today with my payment to Ganesha package, got a discount. Very happy. So there you go. Please reach out, everyone, and ask office@PillaiCenter.com to help you with, if you really are called to participate in the services that are offered through Pillai Center, then we won't want you to miss Dr. Pillai's initiation and all the remedies, the fire labs, the things that we can't do on our own. We can't even get to India to do it. Even if we were in India, they're all done in these power spots that I've been to over the past 25 years. And they're not easy to go to or easy to get there on time and be there in the moment that it's happening. So having the proxy done on our behalf, really, that's all we need. It's more of our experience that we can say, hey, we went there, we did that, but it's for our soul. And maybe virtual reality is getting us more into or away from this physical limitation that we think that we have. We can go beyond that and then fill ourselves up. So Angela's saying, I felt very happy the last 2 days and was a little overwhelmed, not sure what was happening. Now I understand a bit more. Thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. So whenever something happens, please do send us, share here, but also send an email to office@PillaiCenter.com, and you can even ask, I want to be connected to Sutrita. How do I do that? And then they will also give you that email. My email, I'll give it to you. It's sutrita@pillai-center.com. Not everybody knows how to spell it, but you can do that as well. But if you go through office@pillai-center.com, they are so fabulous. We have a fabulous support team, and they will help you to get through whatever it is that you need to get through. Whereas you may not hear from me right away. I'm super busy. So, but having said that, I will be happy to help you as well if it comes to that. So make sure that you read the offerings. Dr. Pillai did a webinar last weekend on Ganesha. He gave 2 teachings. One is to focus on the navel. That's where Ganesha, one of the places that Ganesha lives. And then the other, well, you have to just go and watch that. I don't want to give it all away. But thanks so much, everybody, for coming. Thanks so much, Arjun, for helping out, and the Pillai Center team for being supportive as well for today. So let's wrap it up. I will see you, I guess, in a few days. I'm not on the schedule, but the other teachers are there, and they're fabulous. They'll be guiding you and sharing their experiences, which is so helpful because we all are so grateful to be able to share with our experiences with people who are new or who've been around for a while here, and to remind everyone, this is the highest intelligence. These are the blessings that are inside of you, and here's how you get it from Dr. Pillai. So hopefully that motivates and encourages everyone to read about the services, and then when you do that, you never know. Ganesha may say, okay, now I'm going to give you the ability, the resources, the money, whatever it is for you to participate. And you will know, oh my goodness, I am supposed to have these blessings. And this is going to be a rockin' year ahead with Ganesha and Dr. Pillai. So for us is saying glory and gratitude to Dr. Pillai. Thank you so much, Sutrita. Thank you, Arjun, and everyone in the collective Om Gum. And with that, we have one more announcement to make, and Arjun has posted it there. Pillai Center Practice, if you just scroll up, a couple of links. You can participate in 3 days grand rituals at Pillai Center. The link is there. And then also the initiation with Dr. Pillai. So read it, and then you'll start to feel Ganesha coming alive, and the doors will open up. And like we've heard from so many people, including myself, all of a sudden I thought, oh, I can't participate in the premier program. And then the door opened and I could do it. So the money came in. I went, okay, that came out of nowhere. So I am definitely going to put it towards Ganesha. And then what happened after that was my finances got sorted out and more money came. So this is what it is. All right. So God bless you all. Thank you again. And we will see you when we see you next. Namaste.